Hello, hello. We are getting ready for our day one of the Millionaire Marketing Makeover. We're focusing on simplifying and scaling your business. So, first and foremost, if you are a business owner or you are thinking of becoming a business owner, maybe you are in hobby mode and you're still looking to cross over into the business world. Let us know what your business is, what your business idea is. So, what is going to be your specialty, or what is going to be your title? What are you going to be helping people with? What problem are you going to solve for them? And you've probably heard this already if you've been watching or researching other ideas in creating a business. The key thing that you must do is identify what problem you are solving. So, first and foremost, know that there is a problem and that you are solving it, that you have the solution. That is the foundation of starting a business, because if you're not solving a problem or you're not sure what problem you're solving, then you have a problem. Okay, so if you know what that is, please feel free to highlight your business, show off your business, drop your link to your business page. Let us know what it is that you do. And you might be thinking, oh my goodness, why is she going to let other business people advertise on her video? Well, that's because I'm not worried about competition. I'm not. And you shouldn't either. Because when we get out of scarcity mindset and we get into abundant mindset, we realize that each and every one of us are unique in our own way, based on our experiences, based on the energy that we present, the style that we show up with. I don't know about you, but I've watched coaching videos and I either thought the person talked too fast or they talked too slow, or I didn't like the words that they chose, or I just didn't feel connected. And then there's others where I'm like halfway listening. I'm just so excited and I'm so invigorated by their tone and their energy and the words that they use. So that's where I really want to give you that example of, no matter what you're doing, there's going to be an industry for it, and that's a good thing. That is a good thing. So if you're like, well, self-help books, I use this example a lot. I want to write a self-help book. I want to create a self-help course. There's a million self-help books out there. There's a million different styles, different authors, and the industry is still booming. There's still books coming out every single day. And I don't know about you, but my shelf is full of them. So it's not that I'm committed to one person and one person only and I don't buy any other ones. I buy all of them. I buy all the ones that I'm connected with. So know that whatever you create, you have to be confident in it. And so that's what we're going to be talking about in this 3-day series. In this 3-day series, my key topics that I always cover, that I could keep coming back to because they're so part of my values, and they're so a part of what I teach. And it's clarity, consistency, and confidence. Now, all three of those, first and foremost, that underlining, that foundation that must be there before you establish your clarity, your consistency, and your confidence. I like to imagine a mountain with a person standing there and they're nice and confident on top of that mountain, is commitment. You have to be committed. And when I say committed, I don't mean like checking yourself in an institution. I mean committed, like you are wholeheartedly, you are in this. You have such a passion for what it is that you want to share about this problem that you want to solve, that you are determined to make your business a success. You are determined to help people. Okay? If you are committed, then it becomes so much easier to gain the clarity, to gain the consistency, and to gain the confidence. So when we're moving into our business, and if we're going to work on simplifying our business, right? Because I don't know about you all, but who is watching, if you have a business or you're thinking about starting a business, maybe you just remember the early days when you were confused. You were confused and you were lacking clarity and you were craving, if you can tell, I'm speaking from experience, craving someone to help you get clear on what it was you were really offering. So this was me. Let me tell you a little story, and you might be able to relate. So let me know if you can relate. I had committed to having an office here in Louisville, Rainbow Blossom, if you're familiar. It's a fantastic place. I committed to devoting 10 hours a week with a friend in the office, and we needed to let people know what we were doing, when we were there. And I was really great at walking up to people and talking to them and figuring out what their problem was and then telling them how I could help them with their problem. But I got really stuck when it came to saying, here's the problem I solve, and here's my menu of services, which is what I thought I needed to create, was a menu of services. And so I was really good at just helping people, because that's what we're taught as therapists, or as holistic practitioners, that we help everyone, that we meet them where they're at. And so if you're in that field, you might be able to relate to this story significantly. But maybe you are just, you've got a trade, you've got a skill set, you have this, maybe you did a certification. If you did a certification and you came out of it and you're thinking, I'm going to help so many people, and they didn't really teach you that business aspect, let me know. Did you walk away feeling even more confused about business and letting people know what you do and explaining what you do? So I would tell people, I'm like, I'm a mind-body therapist. And they're like, great, what does that mean? And if I wasn't super clear about that, how was I supposed to allow my clients to be super clear about that, or my potential clients? So I would draft and redraft, and I would keep changing up what my menu was of my services, because I wasn't working on solving a clear problem. Now, I knew people were wanting holistic health. I knew that there were certain things that they were wanting. They were wanting to be happy. They were wanting to feel healthy. They were wanting more energy. But I hadn't really sat down and thought of it from that perspective. I hadn't really thought about what was my process. What was it that I was really, truly offering people? And so that became my problem. I wasn't clear. And if I wasn't clear, then they weren't clear. And let me tell you a big secret that's not really a secret, but it's a big secret in marketing. It's and I don't know if I like the word secret, but anyways, I won't go down that path. If people are not clear about what you're offering, if people are not clear about what the value is that's being offered, then what will allow them to say, I will spend my time with them hoping to get a result? Now we're just talking about time. Then we're saying, not only do we want them to spend their time with us, but we want them to spend their money on us, which they spent more time making. And so we're offering a trade. We're saying, the value of your time, energy, money in exchange for what I'm offering. Now, are you just going to go up to someone and just hand your time and money over to them? Most likely not, right? Like, you want to know, what is it that I'm really getting? Now, you might be telling them what they're really getting is this beautiful image of a solution to their life and painting them this picture of what life is going to look like after your services, and that might be motivating enough for them. Or a lot of times what we try to do is we try to break it down where I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this reading, and then I'm going to do this healing session, and I'm going to do, this workshop with you, and I'm going to do that. And then they get this list of all the things that they're going to get. Well, again, they don't know the value of those things. They don't know what the outcome of those things are. Or maybe you're just like, you're going to get to spend an hour with me. I'm a professional. I have all these credentials. Well, you know all the education that's behind those credentials, but they might not know. So we really need to make sure that they, one, understand the value. I saw this today. I had a post and it was like, testimonial exchange. What can you offer for a testimonial exchange? And this is really important for you business owners. This is because you need testimonies. You need people to see the value of what you're doing, of what you're offering. People want that social proof. And I saw people just putting stuff underneath of this post, what they could offer in exchange for a testimonial. But it was, again, the same thing. Like, why am I going to spend an hour, 5 hours watching your course and give you a testimonial exchange? That feels like work. I feel like I should be getting paid for that. So you have to convey to them what it is that they're getting out of it. Like, how are they being rewarded for spending the time, spending the energy, spending maybe the money when we're talking about the products that we offer as business owners? Okay? We have to convey that. And sometimes that can be really hard to see as the business owner. So I ask you, if you're going to go purchase something, if someone's going to sell you on something, if someone's going to sell you on a course or on a service or just anything, right? Like if a chiropractor is telling you that they want to give you services, are you going to go research and find out what you're getting into before you even take a free session? I hope so. Are you going to go check out their reviews, check out their webpage, see what they're like on social media, see if there's testimonials? Like, I would hope so. So we need to create that confidence in our customers or our potential customers so that we can display our confidence in what we do. Okay? So today we're talking about clarity. Clarity. Again, so I'm kind of giving you a little bit of a bigger picture of what clarity needs to look like for your client to purchase. Now, for a lot of you, maybe you're thinking about creating a course. Maybe you have created a course. Are you clearly depicting what's in that? Are you clearly depicting what the transformation is? So clients want to know what the transformation is. I don't know about you, but someone can be talking about their product and everything else, but if they start showing me before and after photos and they're like, so-and-so had this and now it looks like this, and I can relate to a before and after photo, I am like, hell yeah, sign me up, right? I've done that. I sell liquid collagen because I kept seeing all these before and after photos and I wanted that before and after. I wanted to have that too. And there were these supporting facts that they were giving me which backed up my decision after seeing the transformation. Okay? But it wasn't the facts that sold me. And so all these different components are something that you need to have. And how do we get them? How do we get them? How do we get that clarity? Well, most likely you're selling something that you had that transformation. You had that transformation. So let's say maybe you're a mindset coach, or maybe you're a business coach, or anything of the nature. You replace what that is. What were you like before? What were your fears? How was life for you? Now, and we're going to get really honest, like Are you willing to share those? Are you willing to talk about those? Are you ready to get back into those and really be vulnerable? A lot of us aren't. A lot of us are scared of that. But that is so important for you to channel it. And whether you come out with your own story that you experienced, or you create an avatar, a person that is similar to you, a person that's similar to your customers, to your clients, and you create that story of her and replace yours and hers name, okay? And start to write out that story. Now, where we sometimes get lost is maybe we aren't complete on our own journey. And so we're stopping. And this is why in business it is so crucial that your self-development keeps happening and that you keep growing and that you have mentors that are ahead of you so that they can guide you and pull you into this vision, into this world of possibilities. Because if you are here and you're trying to talk about being here, you're going to have a really hard time. So you don't need to have completed the full journey, right? Because your journey to get where you're at may have taken you 5 to 10 years. And you want to teach people because you want to accelerate that process, for example. You want to bring them along on this journey. You want to show them what you've learned so far, and you want to give them that hope and that love that you have, that passion that you have, that you've developed because you've been on this journey. But you want to give them that journey and you want to accelerate it for them. Great. Tell them that. Tell them that. Say, I'm saving you 10 years worth of trying to figure this out by yourself. I'm going to give you the key steps that I found that were transformational in getting me from there to here. And let them know that you're still on the journey. That's okay. Be vulnerable. Let them know that you don't know everything. That's okay. Let them know that you're not perfect. That's okay and that's beautiful because, for example, for me, my business journey, I had great business in the beginning and I had to keep transforming and keep changing things, and then I realized I wasn't so great at business and that I was having minimal success. That I was, oh my gosh, I was charging $35 for an hour of coaching, and I thought I was rich. I thought, oh my gosh, people are paying me $35 an hour to talk to me and get coaching from me. Wow. And I had started watching another coach, and she was saying how she was making so much money and how when she started out she was charging $100 an hour. And I was like, oh my gosh. She was charging $100 an hour. People were paying her $100 an hour. Oh my gosh, I'd like to just be there. And then I started learning more and more, and I realized as a coach, because I was doing health coaching and personal training and all of that, and from where I was going to where that was huge, but it was all relative. And then I realized there's only so many hours in a day. There's only so many hours in a day. And it was to the point where it was like, okay, I wanted to make more money, so that I was working 8 to 10 hours a day. And that was exhausting. And then sometimes you'd factor in like traveling here or traveling there or preparing and then typing up your notes afterwards and everything else. And before I knew it, like my day was maxed. My week was maxed. My income was maxed. And that's okay if you're just doing business for yourself and you never want to expand further than that. If you want to be scounging and scraping for money and feel like you can never take a vacation because you're making the bare minimum, you're making exactly what you need to get by, there's a problem. So first and foremost, today, If you want to really look at simplifying and scaling your business, you really need to factor what is your bare minimum, what we call break even. Your break even, meaning I make this much to pay my bills and maybe put a little bit into the savings account. That's your break even. Then I want you to calculate, like, how many vacations do you want to go on a year? About how much do those vacations cost? And we don't even have to be lavish. I mean, really, for you and your family. Now, you also need to factor the money that you're not making during that time that you take off. I always would forget to factor that in. And then by the time I actually had the money for the vacation, I ended up just staying home and not working, which I was working. So then I felt like I never got a break. Okay? So you need to factor in not only how much it's going to cost for vacation, but how much it's going to cost to not work during that time. See how much that is. Calculate that number. Then I want you to calculate how much money do you need each month, each year, however it is that you're going to plan this, in order to allow your business to grow. So maybe it's how much you want to invest in coaching each month, how much you want to invest in buying new tools and upgrading your business, or maybe you need certifications to keep renewing, because a lot of times we don't factor those in either. The time that you need off for those certifications. Maybe you want to go back to school and get another degree. Factor in that stuff. How much do you need? How much do you need to make each month? Now, here's another factor. As a business owner, that number that we were just talking about, in order to grow your business and grow you, what we should really be making and charging in our business, my rule of thumb is whatever I'm charging, 50% goes to me, 50% goes to my business. Now how much should you be making? These are a lot of numbers to factor, I get that, and I can help you with that. Not a problem. We can jump on a strategy call and figure out those numbers for you. Now, most likely you're thinking about those numbers and you're going, that sounds scary. There's no way I can do that just by working one-on-one. Not unless I'm charging like a really high amount. Any business, any very successful business that I've ever worked with, and I work with a lot of corporate businesses, you must have a one-to-many option. And that should be your number one option. You first and foremost want to get people into a one-to-many option. That means not working one-on-one. People who get your individual time like that, you need to be charging top dollar. Because that's really special. Your time is really special. Now, a lot of times we have a hard time switching into that one-to-many because we don't have a system. We don't have this process that we're putting our clients through. Why? Because you might be in that scenario that I mentioned in the very beginning, where I was in the Rainbow Blossom, the natural food market, where I had an office in the back, and I'm going up to people and I'm listening to their problems, and then I'm offering what I can do to work with them to help them with that problem. Where I didn't have a process. I didn't have a problem that I was solving and letting people come to me. Isn't that what we want, right? Most of us are posting and we're hoping that people are just going to come to us. That's not how it generally works. Why? Because we're doing one and expecting the other. We're sitting here going, let me talk to you and I'll tell you what I can do for you. But we're hoping people are just going to come to us. And so that clarity is not there. It's not. And so you have to be really clear about what that transformation is. That A to B or A to Z, whatever alphabetical language you like to speak. That A to B transformation. You have to be the business owner. You have to shift out of that mindset. And we're going to talk more about this mindset later on day 3, where we have to shift into a CEO mindset. And a CEO mindset means, here is what I sell. I have what you want. Come and get it. Let me show you. Let me show you. We don't sit in this space of, am I worthy? Are they going to like me? Right? And so most likely you're fearful of creating the course, or maybe you're fearful of promoting your course. Maybe you just want to work with people one-on-one because that feels safer for you. Because we don't have to be seen. Are you really showing up and marketing your business and your services with confidence? Are you? Or are you sitting there going, I don't know what they're going to think of me. I don't know if they're going to like it. I don't know if it's going to get the results that they really want. What are my friends and family going to think? Why am I special? Why is someone going to choose my stuff over someone else's? Or maybe you're sitting there and you're like, I've put it all out there. I've done all that. And no one's coming to me. Well, are you excited? Are you motivated? Are you confident? Are you showing up? Are you preaching what you have to offer? Are you talking about it with passion? Are you still on your journey? Are you talking about the problem? Because as we just started this, we started this conversation with the problem. What is on your client's mind? Not your certification, not your process. That's not on their mind. What's on their mind is their problem. And you have to be super crystal clear about what their problem is. Because if they don't think that you understand their problem, then why are they going to come to you? They need to know without a doubt that you understand their problem. Because only if you understand their problem do they know that you really have a solution. Okay? So you need to get into the past version of you that had that problem. Or you need to get into an avatar, this fictional person that has this problem. Or you need to imagine a past client that you worked with that had that problem. And you need to be able to write pages on it. Because you know it so well. And you know those exercises we did in school in like 4th grade that we really hated, where you had like, you would draw the main thing in the middle, and then you would do these like little bubble, what's this called? Someone tell me. Where you would, it's like a mind map, is that something like that? And you would draw the little lines off, and then you would have the other little bubbles. And then off of those, you'd have the other little bubbles. Start with that. Mind map it. And there's a million things that you can talk about. There's a million problems I could talk about that business owners are showing up and doing. One is the mindset. One is the clarity. And the clarity goes into a million different directions, as we've already talked about some of those today. Right? So tell me what it is with your business. Tell me what it is that you're thinking about starting a business on. Do you have a course? Do you have a one-to-many option? So one-to-many options doesn't necessarily have to be a course. Although I'm going to encourage you to do that. Because again, we're really talking about, and I'm coming back to it, simplify and scale. We do not need to overcomplicate this. Nope, we're talking about the problem. We're talking about the solution. And then we're talking about what life looks like. Now, the solution part is where you might be like, I'm still a little iffy. I haven't fully ironed out my process. That's okay. Start with getting really clear about what the problem is and what life looks like without that problem. And then we fill in the middle. Okay? So, Your homework today, and I'm going to go back over some of this, and I'm going to go in a little deeper as well, but your homework today is one, you need to clarify how much it is that you really need to make. Maybe it's that you're planning on quitting your job and starting your own business. Maybe you've been working on starting your own business and you're almost there. You're almost there, ready to make that jump. Maybe this has been a hobby for you, or you've had this little side hustle and you're frustrated, and you're so frustrated because you feel like you've tried everything that's everyone's always suggested. You've tried all this stuff and it's just still not working. Well, I can tell you, for one, there's a lot of stuff out there. A lot of people are telling you a lot of things. They are. I know. And then you're trying to make sense of all of it. And that can be really confusing. So that was me. I went and I did an associate's in entrepreneurial business, and I got better at it. And then I had to, transfer onto this online world. And there was a lot of like personal blocks that was showing up for me. So I became a hypnotherapist. I'm not even joking. A lot of these things I've done not only for myself but for my clients, like trying to find answers. Then I went back and I got my MBA in business, master's in business. And still things were showing up. And then, I don't know, something just clicked at some point where I was watching a video, and it was a guy, and he was talking about, like, he was like, if you were on one of these shows where you had to go from absolutely nothing to becoming a millionaire again in like 60 days or something. You all know those reality shows. And they had to start from nothing. And they had to create an idea that sold, that would sell, and they had to make it happen. And something in me just clicked, and I was like, yeah, why can't I just have that energy? That energy to just say, okay, I've got all these skills, I've got all these tools, I've got all these services, I'm just going to pick one, and I'm going to go full force, and I'm just going to say, this is what I'm selling, this is how I'm going to make money, and I'm just going to make money, and I'm going to give myself like this, I'm going to get it done. And I was like, whoa, that's what I've been missing. I've been so caught up in my own stuff, in my own value. And I started remembering things that I had learned before, and hearing one coach say to me, it's not about you. It has nothing to do with you. It's all about your client and the results they're getting. And I was like, yeah, in this scenario where I'm creating something, I'm going to make money, I'm going to scale my business, and then I can do all the mission and community work that I want to do, because I'll have the income, I'll have the business set up and going, and I can just do. And it's not about me. It's not about my worth. It's not about how many certifications I have. It's about getting my clients results. It's about getting my clients results and talking about those results, and it's about making the sales and making my business successful, because when my business is successful, that means I'm getting results. That means, I've got the food on the table, I've got the bills getting paid, I'm getting all these things paid off, and I can helping people, and I'm just going to drop all the drama that's inside my head, all this stuff that's telling me to make things confusing. And I was like, wow. And then I would find myself, and I would catch myself getting back into this, trying to overcomplicate things. Why do we overcomplicate things? We overcomplicate things because we're in avoidance. We're trying to distract ourselves. So, your homework. Your homework is to figure out how much you need to make. 50% is what you make, 50% is what your business makes. That 50% of what you make, and when I say 50% of what your business makes, I mean that's also withholding taxes and things of that nature, okay? 50% is what your take home, your income actually is, okay? Because don't forget about taxes. Fun things of being a business owner. That is that allowing you to take a vacation, to account for the time off. And then what's that big ticket number that you're making? You're like, oh my gosh, I need to make $20,000 in sales each month. How am I going to do that? Don't get caught up in that. That's just your financial goal. But what you do need to know is that you do need to do a one-to-many. Okay, so one-to-many, going back. You can do that as a mastermind where you meet once a week. You can do that as a group membership. You can do that as a course, which is even better because then you can have it going all the time. Now, does it take some effort to get it there? Yes, I am not promising you a get rich quick scheme. I am not. But I am telling you that I can help you create a course in 30 days. I will tell you that. Does that mean necessarily that you will be making money in 30 days? It could. It could. Am I going to make that promise? No. Because it is dependent on your commitment, your clarity, which I can help you get, your consistency, which comes when you have clarity, and your confidence, which, again, these are all building on top of each other. If you are lacking in the clarity, that means you have the commitment, but you're lacking in the clarity. I'm going to post a link where you can book a free strategy call with me and I will help you get clarity. Not joking. There's no, and you can ask anybody that's had a strategy call with me. I am not a super pushy. There are no strings attached. I'm not, I'll ask you, do you want to coach? Do you want to hear about working with me? That's all I'm going to say. You either say yes or no. If you say no, okay. That's it. Because my mission, my vision, and my mission, which is part of this clarity aspect, is that I am here to get you help. I am here for you to understand that more is possible. I want you to show up with confidence, whether you choose to start your business or not start your business. But I want you to know it's possible. I want you to feel that it's possible. Okay? So, you've got a one-to-many. We are working on making this a higher ticket offer as well because, as I mentioned before in my story, that I was charging $35 an hour. Nowadays, I wouldn't even charge $35 for a course unless it was something I was going to do for free in the first part just to get testimonials. And I'm just charging a little bit just to get the testimonials, to make sure that they're committed. I wouldn't even offer a course for $35, let alone an hour of my time for $35. And the reason why is because when you create a course, there's a lot that goes into creating a course. There are a lot of hours that go into creating a course. Now, in my program, How to Create a Course in 30 Days, I break it down and make it as easy and simple, step-by-step as you can get. Because that's how I need it and that's how I work. I need clear, defined steps. Clarity, 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 clarity. Again, when I talk about clarity, consistency, and confidence, I am saying like these are the things that I go back to every single time. If I'm struggling with something in my business, I go back to these. Okay, do I have the clarity? And do I have the consistency? Am I showing up with confidence? I ask myself these questions every single day, multiple times a day. Okay? These are my check-in words. And then if something else is off, then I go, am I really committed? Am I showing up with that commitment? Now, I normally don't have to ask myself that one very often because generally I am, but I did need to check in with myself on that before. So that's normally something someone else needs to ask you. Or if you're not showing up with all three of those. Okay? So, homework. Let me go back to that one. So, you are looking at, again, how much money? How much money do you really need to make? And I'm going to come back to that one. 2 is you need to be super clear about what your offer is. As far as what is the problem, all about that problem. And then What does life look like after that problem is solved? Okay, and I'm getting some really important stuff here. Really important stuff. Okay, one to many pricing. Okay, let's say $1,000. $1,000 for a program. You choose how long you want this program to be. Maybe you want it to be a 2-month program, a 6-month program. $1,000, that is a low price. Okay, low price. And you are going to open it up and you need 20 people to join. 20 people at $1,000, you're gonna make $20,000. Yes, you're like, that's a lot of money. Maybe that's all that you made all last year. Okay, if you're okay with that, then by all means be okay with that. But I'm gonna tell you there's a lot more available. There's a lot more available. So it's a 6-month program. Okay, well, I would hope that you were opening up this program every month or two so that you could be bringing in 20,000 every single month. Now, what makes that easier is if you have simplified it and you're doing the same exact program over and over so that you can scale it, which means that you create processes. And we're going to talk about more about processes tomorrow, okay? So processes are repeatable processes. For example, this does not have to necessarily mean automation. Processes. When I schedule someone in my Google Calendar and I want to put all the details in there of their waiver that they need to sign, how to pay for their appointment, where the location is, all of this stuff, I have created it, I have copied it, I have pasted it into a document so that it is consistently being the same every time. And if someone has a question, I update that so that next time I don't have to try to type it all out again. I don't have to keep reinventing the wheel. I just go over to my document, I copy it, I paste it in. Life is easier. I don't have to waste my brain space trying to remember things all the time. Okay? I am simplifying. And as that process gets clearer and I have to think about it less, it gets even clearer for my clients. So every time a client asks a question, I try to solve it, I notate it, I keep improving my processes over and over and over. It wasn't perfect in the beginning. But you do not, anything that you are repeating over and over, such as booking a client, signing a waiver, you wouldn't keep creating a new waiver every time and then printing it. No, you would have one, and that would be the one that you keep using. So your onboarding process, your consultation process even, all of these things, if you find that every consultation you're saying the same 5-minute spiel at the beginning, record that. Record it and put it into a YouTube video, send it to them and have them watch it before you get on a call with them. Anything that you are repeating, make your life easier, please, please, please. Make your life easier, okay? So documents make your life easier. Routines make your life easier because you get to choose it. You're telling yourself what's going to make it easier on yourself, okay? A lot of people have things about routines. Like, routines are meant to make your life easier, not harder. They're not meant to be dry and mean. Routines are there to make life easy, and so is processes, okay? It's meant to give you some time back, even if it's 30 seconds or 2 minutes. Like, that adds up, and it's far more than just time. It's the energy that goes into it, okay? So you're going to simplify. You're going to create processes. Notice what you're doing over and over, and you're like, well, I'm not doing things over and over because I don't have enough people coming to me. I don't have enough clients. If you don't, it's because you are not being clear about your messaging. And your messaging, again, is your number 2 homework assignment, the primary homework assignment. What is the problem? And what does life look like after the problem? Now, if that's hard for you, it's because you don't have a target audience in mind. Now, a lot of people don't like choosing a niche. And I'm not saying for you to choose a niche. I mean, I kind of am, but I'm also not because I don't like that word anymore. You have a problem and you have a solution. And you need to communicate that with clarity. In order to communicate that with clarity so that people actually want to come to you, because if you don't, they won't, then you need to pick a person. You're like, okay, I'm going to pick Jane Smith. She is 44 years old. She has 3 kids. Why is this a problem for her? Well, it's a problem for her because she's a stay-at-home mom and she feels like she has no purpose in life anymore other than taking care of her children. And her children are starting to get older, and by older I mean like, let's say 7. And they're playing video games and they're not showing her the appreciation that she needs. So she needs to feel her value and her purpose in life. Okay, why is that a problem? Well, because it's making her sad. It's making her not want to get up in the morning, or it's making her hit her snooze button over and over. And her relationship with her husband is dwindling, and she's not having friends anymore. And even her kids are starting to notice this difference in her because she's just not showing up with enthusiasm. Okay? Well, what else in life is it affecting? We kind of went over some of that. Well, what would life be like if that wasn't a problem? Okay, well, we mentioned some of those things. So she would wake up in the morning with enthusiasm. Now, you can go about it that way. You can also say, what is the ideal life that people want? List it all out. What is the opposite? Therefore, what is the starting point, the problem? Either way, you've got to get really clear about this. And if you are trying to start your business, or if you have started your business and you have not spent the time to do this, 1, either because you need to talk it out with someone, or 2, because you just don't, you're not making it a priority. There's a problem. This is foundational stuff. Again, you have to have the commitment. You have to have the clarity. You have to have the consistency in order to have that confidence. That confidence in selling, that confidence in showing up online, that confidence, like all this stuff happens when we start consistently doing stuff. But in order to consistently do stuff, we have to know what we're doing. Therefore, we have to be clear. And in order to spend the time in getting clear, you have to ask yourself, are you really committed? Are you committed to your excuses? Are you committed to your fears? Or are you committed to your own transformation? Where you're starting. You're starting going, you know, you have this burning desire to have your own business. Maybe you're like me, you're an entrepreneur at heart, you cannot help it. I have a great paying job in the corporate world. I have 2 actually. As a corporate consultant, I don't need to be on here coaching individuals on their businesses. I don't need to be doing it. This is my passion. I have a burning desire to do this. I can't step away from it. I can't help myself. I make plenty of money doing my business consulting for my corporate people. I could just do that and life would be so much easier. It would. But I'm here, and I'm here for you, and I'm here to teach you what is my passion, because I had that transformation. And I want to offer my transformation to you because I've been in business for myself for probably about 10 years, probably more because I had all these failed attempts. So my current business has been in business for 8 years. Before that, I did, you know, the selling Mary Kay and selling, oh gosh, what else? I don't even remember. I was doing wedding and event planning, and I was doing all these different things, and I was all over the place. And then I moved into just doing my yoga, personal training, life coaching, health coaching thing. And that went well for a while, but even then there was still a little bit of I could have done better. And then I started dabbling in business coaching because people were seeing how I was showing up and they wanted to know how I was doing that. And then I got in this really confused spot again where I was like, well, how do I mix my mind, body, business with my business? And how do I make all of that work together? And I was really struggling with that because I was craving simplicity. I was craving it. And I kept trying, I was trying to force it because I was trying to force how I was going to run my business, and I was less focused on what are the core things that I'm offering, what are the core transformations, what are the core problems. And eventually, again, I had that aha moment where I was like, okay, I am going to have a successful business, and I am going to say, in 60 days, how do I create a business? What is it all around if I was going to start all over? And it hit me that I need to let go of all these ideas of how I think things are supposed to be. And so I said, okay, I am going to pick the one thing that I know are my strengths because I've worked in the corporate world creating courses, learning development in the corporate world and marketing that to the employees and then selling courses. So that was my expertise. I also have worked in, starting a business from A to Z. And so I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm great with planning, with business strategy. I'm going to help people start their business and map out their entire business and how they're going to make money, how they're going to be a success, as if they were going to go to a bank and apply for a loan or apply for a grant. And I realized, okay, well, I have to have product to sell. Let's start with that. Let's start with creating a product to sell. And as I started working with people, I noticed all this mindset stuff that was coming up. All this mindset stuff about even being worthy to have a business. And noticing how they were stuck in hobby mindset and they needed to gain the CEO mindset. And I started realizing more and more of comparing these individual business owners to why can't they just see it from this corporate level, this high level where they detach themselves emotionally. And again, I heard another coach say, as a business owner, we should be emotionally invested. But we should not be making decisions based on our emotions. Why? Because our emotions are constantly changing. Our emotions are tied up in our ability. So we should not be weighing in on business decisions based on our emotions. That is where we have to have that feminine and masculine balance within our business. Decisions need to be made first and foremost from that more masculine. From that, let me see the bigger picture, what makes sense. Once you have made that decision and you have your clear decisions, then get emotionally wrapped up in it. Pour your heart into it. That's where the emotions come into play. Okay? So thank you so much for joining me today in our clarity. So we're all talking all about some clarity today in how we can simplify and scale our business. This is part of the Millionaire Marketing Makeover. So we're talking about marketing. Of course we are. That's what I love. I love marketing. Because marketing is if you had a body, your skin and all the organs is your marketing. Because if you don't have all of that vision, that mission, all of that, it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to go anywhere. Even Girl Scout cookies Yeah, they're yummy. But what really sells them is the cute little girls with a mission. Otherwise, they wouldn't be out in the front of the grocery store. Otherwise, we wouldn't know about them. Okay? And yes, it is Girl Scout cookie season. I can't really eat them because I'm gluten free. Fun fact about me. Not because I choose to be, it's because I will have a full blown allergic reaction. So, now you know something about me. I'm an ice cream eater. That's where it's at. Uh, yeah. So, thank you for joining me on today's day one. Now, tomorrow we're going to be talking more about those processes and how you can utilize them to show up consistently, but that's not all of it. Of course, I'm always going to include some mindset. I'm going to talk to you about how you can be showing up consistently, how we can move. We're going to keep building on each other each day. So, clarity moving into that consistency. I'm going to have lots of beautiful inspiration and tips and tricks that I recommend that are not trends, because I'm not about what's going on in trends right now. I'm not going to talk about TikTok and how you need to be creating a video over there, which is great. It's great if you're into the trends and you want to do that. There's definitely benefits. But I'm talking to you about the frameworks, the stuff in business that's been around for 100 years or so, the frameworks that work over and over. And as trends change, this stuff is going to stay the same. Okay, this stuff is not going to change. Why? Because it's based on psychology, which all marketing should be based on psychology. Okay, and as a communication specialist, as a therapist, I will tell you, I see these things. I see these things are true. Not only because I went and got my MBA, and I can tell you that they've been teaching this stuff in the MBA programs for a long time, but I'm telling you because it's true for the human person as well. Okay, so we've got 2 more days. I'm also going to be giving away a free spot within my program. So my newest program is the Create a Course by Next Month. So create a course in 30 days. Create a course by next month. I'm going to be giving away a free spot to that. Now, if you think you're like, I already know that I want to sign up for this program, I encourage you to get signed up and get signed up fast, because I have the fast action bonuses and they are only available to the first 10 people. So the first 10 people will get, and not all of it, but the first 10 people will get a 90-minute strategy session with me. 90 minutes. That is huge. We are going to be really mapping out everything, and I'm going to make sure that I message you in Messenger quite a bit before that so that we can really make the most of that 90 minutes. So that alone is going to be worth thousands of dollars because of how much we're going to get mapped out in that one strategy session. Okay. Now, for the first 5 people that get signed up, and I'm saying this because it's very time consuming for me, is I'm going to offer a brand strategy session. It's $1 million brand strategy. And it's not just strategy. I'm actually going to create 5 social media posts for you to help you market your course. And then I'm also going to give you a workbook makeover, not just plug it into a template. I'm going to actually create you your own branding to go with the social media posts, to go with your course, and to go with your workbook. Now, again, that alone is worth thousands of dollars, especially someone with my expertise, coming from an MBA corporate background, that is worth thousands of dollars, and that's going to take me some time as well. So these are huge, 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 huge things. So if you want to go ahead and get signed up for that, let me know that you've signed up just so I can make sure I don't miss anything. The link is in the group, but I will also post it underneath here. And I really want your success. I really want your success, not only because it would give me a great testimonial, but I also really just gain a lot of pleasure and of love in my own heart when I see you all have these aha moments and these successes. So please let me know if you had any aha moments today, whether you're watching the replay or catching it live. And I really hope to see you in the program. We'll be meeting live for 8 weeks. 8 weeks, we're going to meet live. So that alone is huge. This course, I'm offering it at a discounted rate of $997, so it's less than $1,000. And we're going to meet live for 8 weeks. And then I'm going to be working with you all fairly individually, messaging you back and forth and making sure that you're really getting your course created and that you're getting it created with that clarity, consistency, and confidence as well. So this is huge. I will tell you, most programs like this are going to be around that $7,000 range, and I am offering it for $997. It will not stay that way forever because I'm not going to offer it live forever. It's going to be an automated course for sure. But again, this is my process. This is my personal process of how I go through and build up my programs. So I will share all of that with you in this course as well. Thanks for joining me today, and I will talk to you tomorrow.